Welcome to another edition of Buzzed Up and Baked on the Scotian Canadian channel. This one, post-mortem, if you will, after that amazing cup run, and I had some awesome guests to chat with tonight. Turned out to be a great conversation, lots of laughs. We got Pat Nadeau, as well as Mathieu Michael from the Balotage podcast, a francophone podcast, and yeah, nailed that this time. And we also have Andrew Marchand, my good buddy at A Marchand on Twitter. Shared lots of laughs, broke down what we just witnessed, which was amazing, and in true Scotian Canadian fashion, and why I was just kind of chuckling there. Botched the intro because I forgot to press record. Luckily, noticed quick enough, and we got her going, and that's where we kicked this one off. Enjoy, guys.
All good.
Let's start from the beginning. You ready for another?
Let's do this.
Look, leftover in my bunk.
Woo!
Let's go. Welcome to another episode of Buzzed Up and Baked here. It's the show where we invite you to have a couple beers, couple tokes, if that's what you're into, and talk hockey. And there's lots to talk about here. You know, the Habs' recent run, heartbreak at the end there. But thanks, everyone, for joining us. And this is a special one. I got a trio of Twitter legends here. We got Pat Nadeau and Matthew Michael from Jesus Christ. Hook me up.
No, try it again.
It's the beginning part that gets me.
Balotage.
Balotage. There we go.
There you go, man. And thanks for having us.
Balotage.
It's fucking nice.
Balotage. That's better. And we got Andrew
Cheers,
as well. Third time on the Scotian Canadian channel. Thanks, guys, for joining us, and everyone for joining
Cheers,
us.
boys.
Well.
Red Bull works.
I'm actually just on waivers, clearly. I don't have a
Yeah.
podcast home.
Well, we'll have you if you learn French.
Quick bong rip for the fans.
How's everybody doing today?
I'm doing a little better, honestly. Like,
Oh yeah?
yeah.
Oh, it's the opposite here, man. I felt okay yesterday. Tried to convince myself that it was about to happen, but today, man, it's something else.
Yeah.
There was even right to the end, I had this. Is Carey gonna pull this off? Is he gonna go 4 straight and just, put on a show? But unfortunately, it didn't happen. And
Hey, we lose. We didn't even score one goal, man. So Kerry was ready to go 4 in a row. When you don't even give him one goal, what are you gonna win?
I know.
Yeah.
I'm good, honestly. To be honest, like I told Mathieu a while ago,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna be upset whatever way this season ends. Since we beat the Leafs, and it's my first Montreal-Toronto matchup in my lifetime in the playoffs. We were losing 3-1, man.
I
It
know.
was 3-1.
3-1.
We won
But that 3-1
shit in-
run, that's what gave us hope in the final round. That's what kept us alive and kept us, who
Like,
knows how it could go.
Yeah, well, that's it. Are we going to be upset about our team upsetting this league? I mean, come on, guys. Nobody's.
Oh, we're not upset.
I'm not even sad. I'm like, you know what? Take that experience. It's a short off season. We'll be back in a few weeks, and these boys are going to be lit. They're going to be on fire, man.
Oh, are they ever? I think for me, it's like it takes a little bit of the sting of the loss away because there is so much to look forward to with this franchise. If this was a team that was all of a sudden going to be split up after this run,
Like
that'd
Tampa
be
Bay.
Exactly. That'd be so heartbreaking to lose.
Yeah.
And then see the team split up. I know we have a few question marks, but there's so much to come. I think just being so damn close to the cup, though, first time in my life being able to witness that,
Yeah.
that's where it stings just a little bit,
I'm a sore loser. So yesterday I could sit back and, I've been pumping the drum for a long time, it seems. But last night, not upset at the team at all. Like it was sweet run. Everybody in the whole city, whole country, on both sides, whether they like the team or not, was engaged in it. But I mean, the wheels fell off at the end of it. It is what it is. Guys were barely skating. We had, they were dead. But I mean, I think you're that close. Like Mathieu was saying, the momentum's there. We've done it before. You got Carey Price in net. Everything seems like a Cinderella story. It's kind of in the making. And then just the light, the light switch was flicked, and it's over.
Dude, Tampa
Yeah.
Bay is so fucking good. You can't be
They're
that
good.
sad, dude. It's quite a team that beat us.
Yeah.
Hey, we stole one in Montreal, man.
No, I know.
Yeah, I'm glad we at least got that one because, just to get swept, that would have just
100%.
given
Just
so
not-
much ammunition to these trolls online and even just
Hey.
fans you run into in the streets, you know what I mean? But nice to at least get that one, experience what it's like to win in the cup final and not get swept. And you know what? The series was closer than the 4-1,
Oh yeah.
finish, I think.
Yeah.
Hey, imagine Kucherov pulling that bullshit speech in Montreal in front of the fans. Imagine that one, man.
He wouldn't be able to get out of the Bell Center, that's for sure.
Probably right, man.
Those guys don't get it down there. They leave the arena. There's barely any fans out there. I think Sean
Yeah,
Telmack
you
could
shut
back away
shop.
with I just like quiet. Yeah, he would make it.
What a goof, though. I got mixed feelings on it. I like part of me doesn't want to be bothered by it and whatever. They won the cup. He's hyped up. He's having a good time. But then it's just so unnecessary, especially just to drag Hellebuck and Fleury in the process. And then, like, it's so true. What does he expect fans to do?
I don't know, man.
An exciting win in a big series. Like, it's just a little ridiculous. And you could tell we were in his head with all the physical play he had to endure that
Crazy,
series.
man.
He was getting frustrated.
Yep.
Him and Sergachev were in there
Oh my
bitch,
god.
pissing and moaning about it. I mean, the death threats. I had death threats.
There was
again.
none,
Yeah,
man.
okay.
No.
Pat got threats too. Dick pic threats, other threats from other people on Twitter. I mean, you've been getting plenty.
I never got any. Everybody always send me dick pics, though. That's my no. I'm just kidding.
You have something about you. Yeah, it's he obviously was rattled by it. I mean, I don't
even know what for, man. It's like we didn't even fucking bother him, especially. Nothing happened with him. He's just the player he is, and we played our game, and all of a sudden he's pulling that fucking prick speech on us. Like, what the fuck is that, man?
when people drink, their true selves come out sometimes, and he is what he
Drink
is.
what, dude? People are saying you had 2 like Coors Lights or something.
No, but there was probably any a type of powder of some kind that helped him accelerate the process, because the Coors Light doesn't do that.
Yeah, dude,
I can guarantee.
in Tampa they don't have a Pierre Gervais to make sure there's no dust in the room, right?
Someone else was actually saying too. He had fractured ribs. He's probably on painkillers, so he should have fixed it.
Yeah, that makes
Painkillers,
sense.
booze,
That makes sense, dude.
some funny powder, and yeah. But yeah, it was a bit unnecessary too. I think the Fleury comment is actually bothering me the most, because Fleury's a goddamn saint.
And what was his first Vezina?
Yeah.
Is it his
It
first?
was, like,
so.
so deserving. Like, he should have had
Oh.
one years ago, and he finally gets one. And you know, Cooch is running his mouth like that. He's going to be a marked man next year. He probably should have kept his mouth shut.
Maybe he's mad we didn't boo him on the ice. Maybe he's offended by that because he booed Sergachev, and not him who deserves to get booed. Apparently, I don't know. God knows. The
But
mind.
Sergachev, man, what a dirty player. What a dirty player that Sergachev, man. Even in the last game, there was a slew foot that didn't get called. Pissed me off. He's been hitting our players, taking them down in dirty ways. I know we have an eye on him because of the trade, but I didn't like his play. He was, he helped them win, but I don't like that type of play.
No, I'll be honest. I'm kind of disappointed with him, to be honest. But what's up with Tampa? They're also always crying for a call, man. It's crazy. Like every play, they're looking at the ref, like, "Oh, do something, mama. They're hurting me, mama."
Starts with the
Crazy.
coach. Starts with the coach, doesn't
Every
it? Cooper.
play, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and a lot of them going down easy and snapping
Yeah.
those headbacks to get calls too. They know where their game is played, and it's on the man advantage. Not, I mean, they're a good 5-on-5 team too, but they need that power play to excel, and that's what they're looking for out there. And definitely starts with the coach.
Fucking lawyer. Sorry if you're following or have law degrees.
I think I heard that.
I was the dropout, so
They have a band of lawyers on that team.
Yeah, that's what I
Julien
heard.
Brisebois, John Cooper, Mathieu Darche. They have a few, if I'm not mistaken.
And it shows.
Yeah.
They're good with technicalities and shit, for sure.
Oh yeah.
That's for
Long-term IRs.
As for Sergachev, though, as dirty as he was, I mean, I'd take him back in a heartbeat. Hate to admit it.
100%. 100%. Do you want him on your team?
Yeah.
Like you had Sherratt and Edmondson that played that type of game, but they're not on our team. Sergachev's not on our team, so I won't talk about how dirty they could have been during the playoff.
The thing is,
you know how it is.
Our guys didn't go after their players the way
They respected
they would
him
have,
way too
that
much.
they could have.
Man. Oh yeah.
Except
they
in that
did.
win, and they got that spark, and it was beautiful to see, and they all rallied behind it, and it started with the little scrum that Edmondson started, and I really like that. Like it was a part of this side of him that we didn't see as much.
Yeah, and he's the only guy that could actually fight, because Weber couldn't, Sherratt couldn't.
Yeah, you're right. Now that we know that, yeah.
So I mean, he was the last hope for that.
It was Byron. Paulie could drop it.
He's a ladder for some of them.
Yeah.
I mean, Gallagher would still go. I mean, it was just it was getting. Well, we know Anderson.
Gallagher
but
tried to go, man.
him and Edmondson, because Edmondson was in that
Yeah,
scrum, but
exactly.
Gallagher just just after Hedman.
Yeah.
You're right.
It was good to see, but we didn't go after their players in game the way we did. Even at the start of the year, all that Matt knows full well. We did this with a Leaf fan before the playoffs started, and didn't know how
That's
the playoffs.
crazy, man.
But we just didn't know how the playoffs are going to get called. And I mean, Montreal got, they didn't get away with too much. Some in the Winnipeg series, they got away with more. And Vegas was a pretty
Mhm.
good one, but we couldn't do what we would have done. Like Kucherov's ribs should have been shattered, finishing off the job that Mayfield started. But
You got to catch them, yeah. The thing is, if you miss your hit on Kucherov, you're giving a 2-on-1, 3-on-2, man. So
Yeah.
the respect has to be a bit higher for the hit they're going to try to land. Because if you miss it, you give up the zone. And with a team like Tampa, we've seen it.
Mhm.
Every mistake they're going to capitalize on it. So
Yeah.
you can't.
Hey.
You can't.
But no goal by point.
love it.
Like what a feature, man! What a feat!
it.
Like that was beautiful.
Well,
And Kucherov had one goal, if
Yeah,
I'm not
just one.
mistaken.
Well, he's
Like
lucky.
we stopped some big guys on Tampa, even though we lost. And it's not the big players that killed us. It was the third and fourth liners, the Colemans, the Goodrow. Like these are the guys that killed us in that series.
See,
Like we played some good hockey, and
did.
what's the most unfortunate is that the final goal, it was all your vets on the ice. Like that was a pain. Like that was a killer. Like the second the goal went in, I'm like, oh, look at the guys on the ice. I feel so bad for them already, and this is gonna be the goal that kills us. Like I was defeated already on that goal, and it's unfortunate.
Same thing with in game 2 when they scored with 0.3 seconds. It was top
the Dano line.
Yeah, and Sherratt and Weber out there, just a killer.
Mhm.
Shame that those two crucial goals have our best guys out there, and just I mean, like you said, the depth held Tampa in it, and Vasilevsky just kept the puck out. And we did the exact same thing we did to Tampa that we did to every other team. We shut down their top options, but Tampa just had enough to get it done anyway. And Vass's was a big part of that. Definitely deserving of the Conn Smythe. It's so bittersweet. Like I'm happy for the guy and he deserves it. But then at the same time, and same with Tampa, about 20 mil over the cap and all that crap, but they're a championship team. It's just bittersweet knowing that they get their second championship. Vass gets a Conn Smythe, and Price, he still doesn't have it.
Man.
It would have been him getting the Conn Smythe if they had won the cup. And he's so deserving of it. Like, I'm not sure there's another guy in the league who deserves it more than him. But so it's bittersweet in that sense, and Weber too,
Yeah, Gallagher too. Like, I know he's not that old, but the guy's body is aging pretty fast. So I have a question for you, Matt.
Yeah.
We just talked about him briefly here. What do you do with Dano?
Oh, man.
No, I'm going to ask that fucking big question right tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're having that talk now.
What does Dano do with the Habs before answering the question? What does he want to do with the Habs after that playoff run?
That's not the game. The game is that's not the game. The game is you're the GM, right? You're not Dano. You can't control if the guy wants to go lower or whatever. The rumors were they offered him $5 million for 5 years, and he said no. That's what I heard. That's I think what everybody heard. So you're Montreal. Your options are you make a better offer or you let him walk.
I think he probably shot himself in the foot declining that offer. I'm not sure he's going to get that same offer again. And I think the Habs and Bergevin are going to want to keep him, and I think they know his value. Dano, on the other hand, is probably going to want to cash in on his, on a big contract this is his moment, right? And all the accolades he's getting. I'm like torn. Like there's part of me that goes, you know what? After this run, Kotkaniemi, Suzuki have so much experience. They're still young, but maybe it's time to hand them the keys. But then at the same time, I mean, Phil Danault should be a guy that takes a, true to the definition, hometown discount. The guy's from Quebec. He
totally agree, man.
Be a crucial third line center and bridge the gap for KK and Suzuki for another couple years. And I think it'd be wise. I mean, you'd be staying with a team that has strong potential for more cup runs. So I think it makes sense for him to take a discount to stay. And if he doesn't, I think the Habs are just going to let him walk. I'm not sure which one I prefer, but
what's your final price offer on him then? You're Marc Bergevin there. You're sitting on the other side of the table, and it's like final offer.
So difficult to answer that question.
$5 million.
Alan Walsh over here.
Do you even take do you even offer the same $5 million you offer before the season start, or you go lower right now?
Yeah, I'd be going.
Look at Andrew, man. Andrew's like, oh.
I'd be going lower, but like the only thing that I think might benefit both Montreal and himself is that as long as he doesn't have too much trade protection towards the midway to end portion of the deal, it could work out for both teams where if we have to overpay just a little bit, he becomes a good trade piece a couple years down the line. And I'm sure Bergevin will hook him up and send him to a good team if it comes to that. But final price, I don't know. I'm not sure if he made the choice to decline 5. I'm not so sure he's worth that considering the
So,
offensive side
You
of the
don't think
game.
that playing
It's-
that
it's-
off season right now and getting in the finals against Tampa, you don't think that affects his will to stay for a discount price for hometown discount or whatever?
I think it will. I think he'll definitely be more open to it now, seeing what they've been able to accomplish together, and he's been part of the process this whole time. He could go down as a Habs legend if they go on a few more runs here, and especially if they get it done. Like what's Pajot getting paid for the Isles? I'd probably go around there, 4.5.
No, but
More.
Peugeot can score.
He can.
Ouch.
Yeah,
Peugeot
so
can score. Ryan Nugent
Yeah.
Hopkins can score. He just got a $5 million contract as well. That's the thing. Like there's guys that have defensive roles that are similar to him that can score as well,
yeah,
and they're getting 5 for 5 approximately.
Yeah.
So he won't get more than that, according to the market. And get him a pizza deal on the side. Get him a deal with Les Pizzeria Mikes or whatever.
No.
You get him a deal on the side and a few million there. No, I'm just kidding.
Whoever the
What I
pizza
mean is
place
that you have really good offensive, defensive, offensive guys that are similar to Dano, not getting the money, remaining in their team. So I don't think a guy like Dano will be able to get more. But what about the fact that you could be the Le Québécois on a Montreal Canadian team that wins the Stanley Cup with what's upcoming? All the side coverage, all like you have all the contracts on the side, they're yours. They're not anybody else. There's nobody else on the team. So bring out all the sponsorships that you want. It's his time to shine with the Montreal Canadiens. So might as well take advantage of that. There's no other one.
Yeah, and those side deals will last forever if they get it
Mhm.
done. You know what I mean? And or even if they don't happen to get it done, he can, make a living off of that even once he's done with the Montreal Canadiens. And even if he eventually goes to someone else when he's retired, he'll have that on his belt where he can, he'll be set. So, yeah, it's
to be
going to
honest,
be interesting to follow.
I think all of this was just an agent trying to get the sparks going when Marc Bergevin was handing out checks left, right, and center last year. Anderson, Petrie, and Gallagher all got their money within 2 weeks of each other. And then his agent's going, we want the big bucks now. We're gonna try to see what happens here. Obviously, I don't think there was really much of an actual kind of intent to sign, just kind of get the discussions going. And then maybe they thought he would build on it this year, but I don't think he's going anywhere. He's sticking. It's gonna be like I'll say just throw a number 4.25, 4.5.
That's my number. That's my hotspot, man. If
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the deal, I'm happy with
Plus
it.
or minus 0.5. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what? I don't even care how many years you want to give. Give him as long as you want. The guy like him, playing with his IQ and his defensive game, he won't decline. He's good until his mid 30s, and he's always going to be that same guy. So I'm not scared to give years. He's like Matt said, and like you're saying, you're going to be able to trade him.
Did you
Yeah.
see the tears in his eyes after the game with Gallagher sitting that side by side?
man.
That was heartbreaking,
He's-
man.
Sitting
That's
beside that Gallagher would make
Mhm.
anyone cry. Like,
Exactly.
come on, that's on Gallagher, dude.
Oh,
And he was
man.
there on
Always-
every press conference. He
Yeah.
was always there,
Yeah.
always present. Like he's the face of the team right now. There's no
Yeah.
point of trading him.
yeah, and their gamble failed before the year for that. Like trying to get that conversation going for a big deal, it failed. He didn't score much, but he can score. He can score a lot more than he did this year. He's not going to score a lot.
Mhm.
But Pajot got that deal before the cap.
Yeah.
It was flat. Nugent Hopkins got that deal. It's 8 years, so it's a bit lower. But then 4.5, 4. That's his range. KK is probably going to get a bridge deal, so it makes the money work.
Yeah.
But Suzuki's going
here.
for the big terms. Like, is it next year or this
Bro.
summer? He's the
Yeah.
guys right away, man. Right away.
8
He's gonna
years,
And I don't
give him
mind.
what he wants.
Yeah.
No, I don't mind it. You're right, man.
I don't mind.
Yeah. So, Dano, oui. Il
Oui?
revient aux équipes l'année prochaine. Eh?
Yeah,
Hey, not bad. Was that
Sorry, Matt.
two beers into it?
Just one still. Slowly.
Well, your French is getting better.
Tall boy.
Yeah, luckily Montreal's got a really good internal cap situation going on where we've seen, guys who are paid the big bucks, they've earned it through their career, you know what I'm saying? So and you got, veterans like Perry and Stahl, not getting paid a whole lot to join the team, so it's and I think there's value in and I'm sure Dano sees it and other guys see it in what this group is building. And fingers crossed Suzuki doesn't break the bank, considering what our structure looks like. But if it has to happen, it has to happen, because that's kid special.
You'll have to work around it. You have to keep Suzuki.
I think you look around and everybody takes like a nice price. Gallagher at his prime year, if he would have hit the UFA market, he would have been paid big dollars. He took a discount. Look at a fucking guy like Anderson. Honestly, a guy complete like him, a guy with his size and his speed, his skill set is so unique in this league. You could get big dollars to him, and he kind of
Yeah.
picked his market. I'm pretty sure. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Everybody else that got paid dollars, like okay, I love him Suzuki, but I think he sees guys like those guys taking pretty nice deals. Guy like Toffoli, guy
Mhm.
that's a freaking joke paying a guy like him so little fucking
Yeah.
money, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. So you look around, even if you're Suzuki or Caulfield, signing for money soon. Even I mean, Romanov's going to come up at some point. Everybody's going to want dollars, and yeah, I think you look around and you got guys bleeding for the team for quite nice deals. I think you take a nice deal, man. I think you buy into the culture at
They
this
learn to it.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it. Like back to Tampa, the reason why they won. I mean, aside from the fact that they were a few million over the cap,
Few bucks.
few bucks. You know, you had people that could score, 20 or 15 to 20 goals on your third line, like
Yeah.
right, and they fit in there. Like you
Mhm.
have to have people, and you know what, the flat cap might help us there. You get Toffoli for 4, you might get some other people for around
Mhm.
two or so, but when you have Gallagher at the top, Suzuki will be at the top here soon enough.
Oh
as
yeah. Oh
forward,
yeah.
but no forward making over 6.5, like that's not Toronto.
Mhm.
13 or 11.5, like we're in a good spot for that. And I think Tampa, Boston was another one. Cousin Brad, only making 6 million. Pasternak, not. I mean, you have to have that.
Bergeron as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to have that structure, and I think we're in a good spot for that. So
And how many
Oh,
dollars
yeah.
were sleeping on the bench or not there? It's
Oh.
incredible, man.
yeah,
Like we had a lot of money also not playing. Other than the 18 million they were over on the other side, we had money sitting on the bench not playing. The l'écart,
The gap.
the gap between the two, it was incredible, man. Like take Drouin's salary off, take Tatar's money off. It's big money.
Yep, for sure.
Crazy to think Tampa's 20 mil over and we're essentially 10 or 15 under, and we still were able to get to where we were,
And that's what
Crazy.
keeps us
Played them
hopeful.
hard.
We talked about that.
That's where the hope is, man. That's where we can look at the future, look at it brightly, and see that there's hope for the future. It's gonna be tough to come back to a series like a playoff cup final, but the hope is there.
We're all talking about the 18 millions, but Tampa's like the best fucking place to play for taxes too. So it's like even more than 18 millions. They already had an advantage at that game, and now they have a new one.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. But you know what? I don't want to blame that shit. It's a lame excuse,
either.
man.
I'm with you.
Lame excuse, man.
Yeah, we had to do it to an extent to get through the season.
If I'm gonna blame some kind of cheating, it's fucking Vasilevsky's chest piece, man. What the fuck is that? Seriously.
Don't
Did
get
you
me
see the picture? I heard it like
That was a little absurd.
Vasilevsky's stuff is big. I heard, and I heard it's like for weeks now. When you see that picture, it's not just big, man. It's like fucking King Kong size. It's crazy to think those two goalies are essentially the same size. You see that picture? Vasilevsky's like fucking twice as thick. It's crazy.
The rules for that too.
Oh,
If someone looked at that, that's a 2-game suspension if it wasn't regulation size. So the pads, like the pads, the blocker, the trapper, those are signed by somebody to say they're good.
Mhm.
But the chest protector, elbow pads, things like that, that's supposed to be like there's no signature on them. But if they're caught by the league, it's 2-game suspension. So I'm like,
fuck! Imagine those 2 games. We come
Yeah,
back.
can
It's
we get
a
2
game
games back?
7, man. It's a game 7.
but yeah, that one bothered me. But hey,
man.
if they're the best team that this league had to offer, and they were,
Yeah, they
and
were.
we played with them. We except for that game, except for game 3, we played with them all the way without Tatar and Drouin. Hopefully we can get back with some depth and a few new bodies, because that would be we all earned it all these years as fans. We've earned I think it's time for a cup. So
right.
We've been loyal.
And dude, I completely ruined the math structure. You wanted to go all the series back way, and we're still stuck on Tampa Bay. And what are we gonna do with the Avs this summer? It's already coming up, man. Sorry,
No
Matt.
worries at all. No worries at all. It was real nice though, like to see, all that criticism about Carey Price's contract, and to see him be one of our most crucial players, and to see him still have it in the gas tank, and he'll have that for at least another few years. So we Toronto likes to excuse themselves on paying their forwards what they do, and it's been criticism towards Montreal for, oh, you're never going to win with a goalie paid like that. So it was redemption to see that it is possible to win that way.
For sure.
Yeah, it's the most loyal fans know we'll still hear the fools in a few months.
Hey, you got to admit, in the last 3 years, at some point in the season, Price looked shaky at best.
Oh, yeah.
He had some rough patches, man. So you got to give it to some fans that at some point you look at the guy, we're going to miss the playoffs, or we're going to barely make the playoffs, or we're going to make a miracle playoff semi-run because we get caught in a larger play-in series we played last year. So there's no excuse now. You just out
No,
of
and
these. You
I
get
think,
it?
yeah, and I don't know, and it's funny because 10 million for a goalie. If that was probably the year after that would have never happened. Like things started to change in the cap world. It was kind of it seemed like McDavid got his contract around that time for 13, and then Price got his soon after. So it was really, I mean, like $10 million for a goalie now you'd never even think of. It's a big number, and there are times like you look at it and it's you're criticized if you say anything bad about Carey Price. So like
That's true, man.
Yeah, there are the fans that just want to just say it what it is. He needs to be better. That's all the money's gone there. Fully, I'm with you on that. Like I said it once or twice this year. Like you're getting paid 10 million. We have 14 million in goalies, and we can't win back-to-back games. Right? Like it was a frustrating year, but that's
what's a legit way to see it, man. Like you're putting a lot of money. It would be the same in a month, and you go like a 20-game streak where McDavid's just no good at all. People would fucking cry, man. It's the same. He's your star player, and the people have expectations on him. But you see a playoff run like now, you're like, okay, man, just give him 12, give him 13.
It happens in Toronto every year in May. Their best players don't show up for a few weeks and they get eliminated. So
hey, imagine if you listen to these guys. They said Campbell was better than Price, so. You should get like 12. Watch out, big contract coming.
I agree. Yeah, it's more the fans that will blame Price for every loss when it happens, when it's not his fault. Like it's those games where it's like,
and it's always the same. We always they always pop up when you know it's gonna happen, and you ignore, man. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Matthew's pretty good at that, to be honest.
I'm Mr. Ignore. Yeah,
he's the most positive guy in my circle of friends.
Now, speaking of goalies, Jake Allen, thank God for him this year, because that's how we even got into the playoffs. Fingers crossed we're able to somehow keep this goalie tandem together, especially considering what Jake's making next year. Yeah, I think he was our most important player in the regular season, to be quite honest.
Who would you rather lose to Seattle this summer? You got to pick, never mind the protection list and all, just who do we lose? And you're happy with it. You're like, okay, yeah, good. It's going to happen, man.
I know. We're going to lose a good one. We're going to lose a good one. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather lose Edmondson or Sherratt than Jake Allen. As much as it sucks to lose one of them, I think you're going to protect one. One of them's going to be available, and hopefully they get taken. And that would also mean I think Cale Fleury might be eligible, and he could be a big piece to our future on the right side. So I don't want to lose him.
Another one. Another guy.
That's low key. That might be low key someone who Seattle targets, so we might not be thinking of.
They said that last time. That was the Chaludon. It was, dude. It was.
I remember.
Vegas expansion. People were like, "Oh, you can't play Udon this season because he's gonna have to be protected." Next year, if you could go back in time, you'd give him fucking Udon a second-round pick.
Yeah.
It's funny because I forgot that it was Emelin. That was actually picked by Vegas.
Dude, low-key, that hurt us, man.
It didn't.
Yeah, it fucking hurt us.
Yeah, I went to go check. Fleury's not eligible. We're fine. We're keeping him.
Oh, nice.
Games played, yeah.
He doesn't play enough.
I agree with you, Matt.
But they can take John Merrill or Gustafsson. I don't have a problem.
We're gonna lose Sherratt, and I'm
you
fine
leave
with
Gus
it.
alone.
Sherratt's pretty good deep, but then he takes stupid decisions. He's gonna break his hand fighting with someone he shouldn't fight in a stupid situation, and you're gonna lose him for 3 weeks, and then you fuck Sherratt, man. Edmondson's been great for us, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sherratt too. Sherratt had his moment, but you gotta consider those other moments too, right? So I gotta lose. If I could pick, they take Sherratt and everything's good. We keep Jake Allen. Guy fucking put us in the playoffs this year. Without Jake Allen, we don't do it. We're not there, man.
But we're only allowed to save one goalie, to protect one goalie. So at the end of the day, Allen is gonna be exposed
Yep.
no matter what.
Yep.
And that's where we had the talk previously, like before starting recording. Do you go with 8 forwards, 8 total players, or do you go with the 7 and 3? And I was looking at it and trying to scramble, and I think we have a good, depending on what Bergevin wants to do with his defensemen, you could go ahead and just protect 8 players and keep your 4 defensemen and say, no, I'm playing goalie, Carey Price, my 4 defensemen, and we're repeating the cup run with a strong defensive
The big four, they
oriented,
call it.
with a big defensive oriented structure. But I don't know what Duchamp's structure will look like once he takes over and it's his system. So I have no clue what they want to do. Like, depending on their vision of the future with the new players they have, with the young studs that we have, it's going to change the portrait of who they actually protect or don't protect for the expansion draft.
Yeah, and Ducharme is the coach next year.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like, there's no
Check.
Oh yeah.
And
we've been rough on him, man. Imagine picking a team mid-season with just about no practicing compared to regular season, man. You can insert little plays here and there, little adjustments, but when he got that week off before the playoffs, you could see the system coming in really.
Yeah.
And,
when he was hired, they flew to Winnipeg and played the next day. Like, there was nothing. It was just it was quite.
I felt bad for how his tenure kicked off for the Habs. You know, like, not, you know, he had the COVID the COVID stuff that shut us down, and then the tough schedule. But then on top of that, you lose Carey Price, and I know you have Jake Allen, but still, that's just a lot going on at once. No practice time.
Hey, imagine Kincaid, Luke, or Niemi instead. So we have
Jake. Yeah,
we have Jake Allen.
Run.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
so that's how huge Jake Allen is. It's the playoff run, man. Without him, we're out, man.
On Montreal, was there any Allen jerseys around? Did you guys see any? Like, was there?
Oh man, if I'm being honest, I don't remember seeing a single
sweater.
By the way,
and me nowhere. Mm-hmm. No Allen jerseys anywhere, except my friend who's from Fredericton, from the same hometown. Honestly. He bought an Allen jersey, and every day we'd watch. And he's not the biggest fan, but every day we'd watch. Point back, Jake Allen won a Stanley Cup. Just to chirp. But Jake Allen got us in, and Carey Price got us through, and we need. And I think Bergevin knows that, but we need Allen back because the team's going to be tired next year. Don't forget, we just played up until July.
Dude, it's up to Seattle at this point. Really,
it is.
He's going to be exposed, man. There's no doubt. So
good thing though. They always call it the copycat league. Mm-hmm. So whatever the winner has, you know, someone else the next team wants. So do people want the big defenseman now? Because if Sherrod is there, then he's only 1 year left, right?
Yeah.
So he's a low risk pickup for Seattle, and I think that's why we brought in Edmonton last year, was because he figured someone like Sherrod would go. But
no offense to Sherrod, but I really liked Edmonton's play during the playoffs. He was solid. Like his experience showed also. So no, he's a solid defenseman.
Him and Petrie, they stay together. That's our line.
Yeah. And you're also going to want some minutes for Romanov moving forward too, or something.
Oh yeah. Not just Romanov. We drafted a bunch of great little young Ds coming up slowly. So
Kate Gooley.
Yep. Gooley's one. Aris is one, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
After next, he should be coming. Yeah.
So Trouble is going to come up a few years after that. Brooke has that.
Norlander.
Oh my God!
Oh,
so
there's one.
We fixed. Remember a few years ago, guys. It was like, we're never going to win without centers. And it's okay. We got those centers now, and everybody's trying for going after the big D at UFA again. Don't do it. Don't go after the big D UFA. You're gonna just cripple your cap space for years to come, and you're not. You how do you say that? You already addressed this issue with the draft. You just gotta wait, like we did for centers.
Yeah.
Just be patient and wait for the final product to come up, and then fix little holes like we did. We didn't have no power forwards like Josh Anderson in the prospect pool. So you got to address stuff like that. And that's pretty rare. It's a rare skill set that people don't recognize. So they fixed that through UFA. I wouldn't go after UFAs this summer unless I have to replace Jake Allen.
But rewind 5 years ago. Who did we have to make any trade of any kind to get any kind of player?
Yo.
Oh.
Jacob Delarose.
I'm not Sven Danny Cristo.
Yeah, exactly. Look at it today. Like, the prospect pool is beautiful. We made it to the cup final without even losing a first round pick, not losing a second round pick. We have 11 draft picks in that upcoming draft. Like,
are you saying we're selling? We're selling the summer and we're going for the big home run. Is that what you're
Not
saying?
not this not necessarily this summer, not necessarily next
Okay.
summer, but
Okay.
say in 2-3 years, you'll have a prospect pool that's pretty solid, and you'll know who's your core is, and you'll be able to make moves that you're unable to make or were unable to make 4 or 5 years ago.
I agree, man. Plus,
And
people want to come here.
like, I'm
now.
just trying to put more hope in, like, for the future, because honestly I'm broken. But there is hope. There is
There
a
is.
structure. And people they look at our prospect pool from other teams and everything, and they're like, oh, who are these guys? Like, we don't know them. Each team has their prospects and everything. But our prospects, I'm really hopeful. Like, for so many years, I would look at the Club École, our farm team, and I
Farm?
wouldn't find anybody that really, okay, I could see him, but he comes to play with the Habs once in a while, okay, and he goes back down, but nothing wow. But now I could,
Yeah.
I lived like next to the Place Belle. I could go see the Rocket and really have a blast and know the players and get to enjoy my time there. Like, it's beautiful what's being created, and it's only been since maybe 3-4 years that they changed the mentality and started building that.
Yeah.
So
So,
it's fun.
what happened? Is it Sylvain Lefebvre that ruined them, or is it Timmins that wasn't good? What happened? Because they've been there for like twice. You're saying it's like 4 years. We see the light shining and the hope is rising, and we're like, yeah. But before that, it was the same guys. So who fucked up? Was it Timmins or was it Sylvain Lefebvre that fucked up?
I think it was I think it was trading away every second round pick
Yeah.
we ever had, and then
Oh,
Sylvain
it's
Lefebvre.
Bergevin directly then.
It was.
I think it was like
Even
a combination of
Yeah,
a few
it
different
was.
things.
Development was not good here,
No.
No.
and trading the picks at the wrong time. Those second Gainey and like Gauthier, the second round picks were.
Oh no,
we
but
never
I'm not
had them.
talking about
Yeah.
Donny.
No, but
they
as it
were
came on,
way worse than even the worst Bergevin
yeah.
days for sure. Man.
Yeah.
it's the thing is though, like this year's draft is so like I don't know what to think about this year's first round pick, because no one scouted this year. Like, everything was so
Yeah.
all over the place. So people are saying, even me, like, that Bergevin's probably going to go make some aggressive moves because he wants to get Price and Weber back again on the heels of this, right? Back in to
You
get the
believe?
cup. I think so.
But no, we're going for like we're going for another big run next year, or is it going to take a few years to get back at this point?
I don't think we, in terms of having a few years, I think the Petrie contract is the 5-year deals that were given out. I think that's kind of
The window.
and then so
The
to
first
Matthew's,
window.
yeah, to
So
Matthew's point,
Weber's still there in 5 years. He's still your
Oh.
number 2B at that.
no,
So,
it'd be in
so
2.
we don't really have 5 years. with
No,
this.
but
No.
you'll have a Romanov coming up. You'll have a Gouli at his place. You'll have
I
other
hear
players
you.
that replace him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Plus you'll still have Petrie. You might still have a guy like Edmondson to solidify the structure.
I think our window though, if we're gonna win with
2
those
years,
guys kind
max.
of running, 2 years. So that's why I can see him getting, like, we have a lot of depth. We have a lot of depth because the taxi squad. We have a lot of depth. It's time to get rid of get quality over quantity for a bit. Like, you have to have like the right people in the depth roles, but you have to have the right people supporting. So, but I just don't. I think the first round pick they might keep because no one knows what the draft's going to be like. They might get a superstar at 31. Like, we don't know. I don't even know who's.
You guys remember when we got Caulfield at 15?
Yeah,
No way.
I remember that night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody remembers the scene from the bar in Philly, right?
In Philly, yeah.
Beautiful. Caulfield.
No.
Yeah,
So
I think
US
I,
development pro. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I think I agree with Andrew. I definitely think Bergevin is gonna and kind of piggybacking off something that Matthew said as well. We've seen Berge the last 3 to 4 years negotiating deals, negotiating contracts, building this team, like you mentioned, from a position of weakness. We didn't have really anything to juggle around. We didn't have any big pieces to deal unless we were somewhat moving laterally. Like, look, if back 4 years ago we trade Sergachev for Drouin, and it ends up being a, kind of a questionable trade at this point. But right now, Bergevin, and for a long time, the next few years, he will be bargaining from a position of strength. We have assets that other teams are going to want, and I don't think he's going to have a fire sale or anything like that.
No.
But I could definitely see over the next 2 to 3 years, a big deal, maybe 1, maybe 2, just to align the team and really put their best foot forward with Weber and Price. Because I think with those two, you want to win, or at least give themselves a shot to win in the next 2 to 3 years. I think this team's set up for long-term success, like Bergevin has been talking about since he took over this role, about not managing for 1 or 2 seasons, but keeping it rolling over year after year after year. I think we're set for that too, but you're definitely going to want to win with guys like Weber and Price. So I can definitely see something big happening. And whether it's this draft and our first round pick or whatnot, or the next one, something's going to come down here, because we can't be the team that waits another 5-6 years to get back to the final. We got to be able to give ourselves a shot ASAP.
I have a name of a player that I would like to see them get.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
He was the original beer drinking Stanley Cup champion.
Ovechkin? Oh yeah, he's coming
Ovi.
on the market, right?
Ovi. If he would have,
Oh, shit.
why isn't he signed in Washington yet?
I think he wants to test the market for sure.
For sure. And there's a spot that he said he would play in before.
Yeah.
Oh, could you imagine?
Pat
Well, we
knows
had-
my
we had-
love for Ovi.
yeah,
How
everybody
many
here
times
agrees.
have I talked about it on the pod, man? This would be my dream catch for sure.
Yeah. And Sherrod's number is going to be freed up.
And the guy's
Um,
frame is
At
pretty,
worst, it's gonna cost him a Rolex.
Ovi's
And it
pretty
would-
tough. He's gonna play probably into his early 40s, to be honest. So he's gonna break Gretzky's record. You want to do it
Yeah.
with the Bleu Blanc Rouge.
Oof.
Bleu Blanc Rouge, fucking go, let's go.
Imagine.
The red
Imagine the
Blanc
Bell
Rouge.
Center, man. He's coming. He's gonna score the 1,000 goal.
Yeah, but more than
Doesn't have
that,
the Bell
imagine
Center,
the
imagine
type
that.
of mentorship he would give to Caulfield,
Oh,
to
yeah.
Kotkaniemi, of by being a professional, of playing big minutes, of playing big hockey, of being the responsible defensively, because that's how he won his cup. The time he won it, there's something about him that would also help the young studs on our team. Like I would never say no to a guy like Ovi.
No. And like you said, $10 million weren't playing in the playoffs. Well,
Exactly.
well, hey,
Oh
And
my
imagine if-
God.
perfect. Like, look at our right side with Gallagher, Anderson, Perry. If he comes back, I hope to Christ he does.
Oh,
Armia,
yeah.
if he comes back. I mean, down
Armia, yeah.
the right side, Caulfield, the right side set. So to have Ovi come in as the left winger, holy shit! It's just
Yeah.
too good to be true,
Then you
And-
have Ovi, Toffoli, Anderson on that side.
man.
Yeah, and I mean, I think I did the cap friendly exercise today, and Drouin in some capacity. I mean, if he was going to come back, I don't think he can come back to this market after that.
Mhm.
I think I mean, we don't know what happened, but
Yeah.
I think coming back here after a Stanley Cup final run,
I think he
all
does.
he's see, like, if he comes back, all he's going to get is more questions. Like, I mean, if he's feeling better from whatever it is, then good. But
Yeah,
We
he has to
used to
shut it
really-
down right away.
We just assume it's mental health, but maybe it's something else, and maybe it's something that he's fixing in his own life that's displaying great character right now, doing what he does, and maybe he comes back a different man. You're just underestimating the power of will of one
Yeah.
man.
well,
We don't know, man. We all don't know. We're all speculating.
we all
on
don't
this guy.
know.
Yeah.
Exactly,
hope-
but
I
to
hope
scratch
Nate's
him,
in his
to
ear.
scratch him off. Who?
I hope
Who
Nate's in his ear, McKinnon, because he went through some struggles
Oh.
his first 3-4 years or so in the NHL, and all of a sudden, you know, he went from a 60-point guy to a over 100-point guy in a matter of a season.
One of
And
the best players in the league, man.
so,
I
and
would-
Drouin has been held back. I mean, he's capable of so much more. Not to
I
pile
agree,
on
man.
him or anything. I could see him coming back, and I think the fans would welcome him back, especially initially. And I hope he'd be able to overcome right off the bat and just become the fan favorite we've
Dude,
all.
I hope he does,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, we and the province of Quebec deserves a guy like him, to be honest.
They
man.
do,
Like,
and
we treated like we're all talking about Sergachev this playoff, and it's mixed feelings. And we
Yeah.
didn't have our guy on the ice, and we have
Yeah.
mixed feelings. Imagine if Dwayne
Yeah.
was there to justify his presence in the lineup. He would
Yeah.
have destroyed, man. We might have beaten Tampa with Dwayne in the lineup, to be honest.
yeah, and I mean, everything eventually comes out to what's going on. And I mean,
Yeah.
everyone knows where I am. I've for the last few months wanted, hoping to get well soon, wish him the best. Like, I'd love to see him back. I hope that he can come back, because
I hope,
that'd be the best case scenario. I mean, if Paul Byron making 3.9, I mean, that contract has to go.
I
I'm just
agree.
thinking, if you're getting Ovechkin, if you're going after someone like that,
Oh man,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't have, yeah.
Then again, you remember
But-
that goal falling on oh man,
I
like,
know.
Mhm.
I was shitting on Byron going in the playoffs, like scratch that bum. Then he scores that
Same,
goal,
man.
and you're like, holy fuck!
I
I'm
love
so
Petit
sorry,
Paul.
Paulie. I'm so sorry.
The thing is, it's the money. It's
I
like,
know.
Paul Byron's been fantastic since he got here. He's had some injuries and some rough patches, but I mean, he's always been he scored when he had to.
Yeah.
but almost 4 million. Armia,
I agree, dude.
Armia
But you
at
know
3.
what? If his name was Paul Biron from Quebec and not the Franco-Ontarian,
Yeah, shit.
it would be totally different at 4 million. He would get pounded. He would get destroyed.
Yeah.
But because he's
You're
Paul
right.
Byron from Ontario and not Paul Byron from Paul Biron de Quebec,
Yeah.
it's totally different right now in this situation.
Yeah.
And that's where you see the difference between him and Drouin.
Yeah.
Drouin, you don't know if the situation is related to the team or hockey even.
Yeah.
We just know it's
No.
personal.
Yeah.
If it's related to hockey, in that case, yes, you might have a problem returning to the game. If it's not related to hockey and he's fixing other issues, why not
Yeah,
come back? Like
agreed.
the door is open and we want him here. So depending where, like the interrelation of his situation, if it's hockey related or not, we
Yeah,
might see him back. We never
100%.
know.
And his
I
teammates won't
hope
mind.
we play Tampa in the first round next year when we have Drouin facing Sergachev on that face-off.
Yeah. Everybody forgets too. If Sergachev started his career in
Mhm.
Montreal, he would not be.
Oh no, we
he would
crushed
not
him
be.
before he stopped 4.
Oh yeah, there's no Hedman in front of him. There's no.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I mean, he
You're
would
right.
not. It's just funny how that works.
And
out.
Drouin would have been fired up to play against Tampa too, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I think so.
what a playoff clutch guy, man.
But man, if they get Ovi, there's just
Oh.
money. There's just money.
I love that.
There's just money that has to go out. And
Yeah.
We were kidding around. Imagine that, like the ultimate thing is getting Ovi and Crosby, because that guy was a Fabs fan when he was a kid too, to be honest. So you want to play that game, the Tavares and his
Yes.
PJ games?
NHL 97, NHL 2004. Sorry.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
line one.
All on a rebate, playing at league minimum, by the way.
Yeah,
All of
yeah.
them.
Yeah, it's
I know that soup makes a comeback.
If Bergevin can do his PlayStation trades, we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
yeah, yeah.
Well, Ovi might be real, guys. He's not signed. He's going
Yeah.
into the summer right now. It's happening.
While
Yeah.
we're in the subject of ex-Habs player, can I go a series back and talk about Pacioretty?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
What a trade, man. What a trade to get a guy like Suzuki, who is our present, who played a guy against our past, who was supposed to be their present and the guy that produces. But man, did we kill that trade, man.
It's a
It's
fleece.
just amazingly beautiful. And it was so satisfying to see him. Yeah, he scored one in the losing cause once. Like they were fully down in that game, but it was so satisfying to see him. And we know how Pacioretty is. We know how he is when he's under pressure. We know how he is when he gets hit. And that's exactly the guy we saw in that series.
Yeah.
And what a trade by Bergevin. Like, we'll talk about the bad trade, Sergachev Drouin, but what about the beautiful trade that happened in the playoff series right before, where we signed full display? And I'm sure he was stressed to play against the Habs.
Oh yeah.
I disagree
for
with
sure.
one thing you said.
Go.
He's the guy we didn't see.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, I
Nope.
didn't want to talk too much shit before the series started, but just
Just-
knowing him as a
You
player,
cared to,
like you mentioned.
startle him, man.
yeah, like the way he plays under pressure, like you mentioned, his lack of scoring in the playoffs, and I know he had a fairly good run up to that point for them, but I didn't want to talk too much shit just in case he happened to go off, but was not the least bit surprised to see it play out the way that it did with the style of hockey Montreal was playing, the defensive centers that we had on our team, and like you pretty much covered it all. But to see us shut him down and really close the door on that trade, I think we're good. I mean, Suzuki's going to be
I think we're good.
the face of our franchise for the next 10 years at least.
Crazy,
and, you
how
know,
good he is.
Easy.
And Norlander's coming.
Exactly. And he
Yeah,
could be,
also in that trade.
like, man,
And Tatar.
Guys, at this rate, Peeling is already a fourth line winger. So
Oh.
oh, we're going crazy with all of these prospects, dude. Wow,
Yeah,
the depth is real.
it's funny because I went back and I watched Game 6 Boston in 2014. I was at that game. That's the last one I went to Montreal for.
Okay.
And I watched it back and they were saying, it's Game 6. Well, Pacioretty's still looking to score a goal. He's been snake bit, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just laughing. I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right. He ended up scoring, which, but he had
Oh, it's
Vanek
your
with him.
fault.
Yeah.
You jinxed
hey,
it. Oh
sorry.
my god.
We won the game.
Yeah, okay, fair
It was
That
enough.
was D game, yeah.
Scoring in a losing game, that's patch already all right.
It, yeah, I mean,
But it was a rare goal, if I'm not mistaken, where he was in front of the net and didn't take a shot,
Ooh.
and he went into the dirty area. But we didn't see that too often from Pacioretty.
Once
No.
that time. That's
That
it.
was that time, yeah.
yeah, he wasn't that player.
Hey, imagine put that body on Suzuki.
That
Right?
buddy on Gallagher.
Oh, no, come on, that's unfair for
We've
the
been saying
real
that for years.
Yeah.
And imagine Suzuki, he goes right in the middle. He's afraid of nothing, man. The guy's built like a little fucking Tonka truck or something, man. He's so fucking tough for his size, man. It's crazy. Did you see his
And he
shoulders
plays
and his
better.
neck when in the playoffs? The guy trained hard, man.
He plays better when he's hit.
Oh
When
yeah.
they hit him, he likes it. He gets better as the game goes.
He's so smart. He takes the
Yeah.
hit, but he doesn't get hurt, man. He's
Yeah.
so reactive to the hit. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I think in general, this whole playoff run, I think that's one of the main things that really made it enjoyable and kind of, even I felt as a fan, we were kind of brought into the trenches with them, like the desperation,
Yeah.
like what all these guys sacrificed on this run, each and every guy, like
You didn't even
getting
speak of
beaten up and
Caulfield,
bruised
dude.
to make plays. It was just a treat.
Yeah.
That rookie, can we talk about that rookie? Guys, what's happening? We have a future superstar in there, man. It's crazy. The guy's going to score
Yeah.
some freaking goals, and we all expected that shot, but what a high IQ playmaker, too. The guy's so smart. Caulfield
Just
is
that
so aware of
speedy-
everything around him, man.
Yeah, the speedy, shifty player that doesn't just
Oh my
like. The thing is,
God.
we've seen the fast kids come in. We've had all of them over the years. Like, even Hudon, Charles Hudon was exciting to watch. Get the puck and go. Then he would never do anything with it because he was slow.
So
But you're seeing
Sherback.
and you're seeing Caulfield,
Sherback.
Ugh. You're seeing Caulfield
Ouch.
just like find a space and then put the puck in the back. Like it's so we haven't seen it in like my lifetime with this team to see that kind of speed and skill go. But my favorite moment was in the Vegas series for him personally was when he scored and his parents actually got to watch it.
100%.
And the brother had the gold Caulfield
Gold
shirt
Oh,
on.
yeah, I remember.
And anyway, it was just because the American kid going home, have his parents in the building.
Yeah.
Just like for that to happen.
And what a goal.
And what a goal.
And what a
Oh, my
goal.
God.
Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
he is gonna we're
So that duo, him and Suzuki for years to come. Oh, my God, man.
But you know what?
Hockey IQ
This
on
whole but this whole playoff, like the whole run started from that play when Galchenyuk gave us the puck. And the irony that it's Galchenyuk who is our past, who gave us the puck, and our future, which is Caulfield and Suzuki, went in the breakaway 2-1-0, pass, and what a goal by Suzuki on that play. But that's where it all started, and it was like, oh wow, that's our future.
And it made nice memes on Twitter. Everybody was like, that first round pick finally saving Marc Bergevin's job and shit. And like all the memes, so it was pretty good.
Yeah. Or Galchenyuk to Caulfield to Suzuki. We've been waiting for that for so long.
That was who was it?
Havs.
Oh my God. And after all that bullshit too, all the Leafs had, my column, how they're going to save Alex Galchenyuk. That was just so sweet that it kicked off the comeback in that run.
100%.
Oh man. And
what a broken kid that he must be though.
Yeah. I couldn't be more impressed with how he joined this lineup and slid in. And I still agree with keeping him sitting for those first two games. I mean, it ended up paying off. I really think, getting him fired up to join the lineup, because it was inevitable. He was going to be playing. I think Ducharme knew that. Even Cole, I'm sure he knew that. So to insert him in game 3 or whenever it was, and he comes in and he's just, for a 20-year-old to be that comfortable, he didn't really run into any trouble until the Tampa Bay series, when we finally started seeing the odd giveaway here and there when he tried to force a play. But until then, against really strong teams, he was just playing elite hockey on both sides of the puck, finishing and just not making mistakes. It was, I couldn't be more impressed.
Habs fans have to learn that. It's that players like him, you got to tolerate that he's going to take the high risk play sometimes. And that's okay. Yeah. That's what they do. You got to accept it. We have so many 50-50 players. Everybody thinks that's the only way we can play in Montreal. And the moment you miss that play, everybody's on your back. But you're the guy that's allowed to miss that play, man.
That's why we have
exactly.
Yeah.
That's why we have Carey Price.
So Hab fans, they say they're not knowledgeable about the game and shit. But honestly, you got to know shit like that. That's pretty fucking basic.
I mean,
that skill, but when you have high skills, you're allowed to try low risk play, man. It's like that.
Watch Patty Kane play. The dude,
but people just see the highlights. People think that's all he does because they watch the highlights and it's like, oh yeah, that's how you do it. Suck it up, Cole Caulfield. But you don't watch a full game. He misses it like 8 times out of 10.
It's so true.
Look at McDavid. Look at McDavid, as good as he is. Back check. Right.
Yeah. But on the
Ovi used to be like that though.
But you see the highlights.
Before Trotz, Ovi was like that.
Yeah, it's true.
Now Ovi's ready to play Montreal Canadiens hockey.
100%.
You got to get Barry Trotz behind that bench, my friend. If you want that Ovechkin, you need that coach, in my opinion.
I love that coach.
That's what happened, man. Without Barry Trotz, you won't have the same.
So we know that Ducharme is coming back. What's happening with Bouchard?
He deserves it. I mean, that's weird, man. Credible journalists saying that's weird that all those moves happening in Laval and we're in the finals. Somebody's taking care of business, and it's not Bergevin right now. But who
I was
is it?
gonna say-
There's a ghost. There's a ghost GM in Laval.
Yeah,
It's-
he's going to be GM of Laval if he isn't already behind the scenes.
Yeah,
So what's
with
up with the last news we had was Anthony Marcotte, who's pretty tight with Laval Rocket. He's the guy knows this shit, and he said the sound was he's not signed and he's taking all offers right now. He's listening to offers. So that means
So-
there is
checking his
offers.
options. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's what so I've been saying this for a while, and just because. So when Duchalme came in and Bouchard, it was the same summer, right?
Yes.
Same time they came in. And I looked at it and said, okay, Ducharme's coming in for Julien, and Bouchard's coming in for Bergevin.
But it doesn't make sense. The guy's so
He
good
wants-
with players, dude.
Yeah, but he
The
wants.
guy
But
he's a teacher. You give him a kid and he's that much better. Bam, almost
he is.
instantly.
But
It's
he likes.
crazy.
But he ran a team
Oh
too.
my
He built
God.
teams too, though.
Yeah.
He likes to build things.
I know
Like
he
he's,
likes to do it, but he's
You
not
know.
Reg Dunlap there. You gotta.
Well, wait a
Go
second.
with it,
Wait a
dude.
second, Pat. Wait a second. He got the Blainville-Boisbriand d'Armada of Blainville-Boisbriand.
Yeah.
He the team didn't exist. He took the team, built the team, got into a Memorial Cup team. This man, he coached and GM'd at the same time.
Like Patrick Waugh.
And he built it from A to Z. At the same time as Patrick was playing with the Rempart, he was building the Armada.
Don't you want him around your kids? Answer the question.
But he will be around the kids.
I think he will
But
be,
He won't be the
Yeah.
coach, but he's still gonna be around the kids.
Man.
I
I
want
wouldn't
him
even
in
be.
charge.
I wouldn't even be surprised if he takes an assistant job while he plays GM to be behind the bench. And I forgot the name of his assistant, the one he brought from Armada. But
forgot his name.
yeah, I see his face in right now. But he could just do a switch where he becomes the coach instead of being assistant, and they keep the same structure and everything. They just switch positions, and he's still in the team.
There's
It's all speculation, but
yeah.
it's
There's
logic there.
Yeah, and there's no way they brought in Bouchard without a long-term plan figured out.
But why
I
isn't
think
it?
his heart
It
is
would
in
be
Montreal.
easy to just announce it then.
I
Why-
think
why-
there.
why
I think
they-
they were waiting for the season to end because the COVID bubble. He was done. He wanted to go and enjoy the summer, I guess. But because if he comes in because what seemed like was supposed to happen, Bergevin was this year before the playoffs, everyone thought he was fired or going to go to. Or Elliot Friedman
I
said
think he's going.
But Elliot Friedman said he wanted to that Bergevin was negotiating a contract but he didn't say what for.
Yeah.
So I assume president of hockey ops,
Mhm.
and then Bouchard would take over GM when Bergevin's contract is up, which is end of next season.
Yeah, long
for
term. I
this-
could have seen that too. Yeah.
So for this season, maybe Bouchard's a GM and runs Laval, and then controls who's coming in Laval, who's taking over, how things are gonna be done. Like that culture will start to get built by Bouchard from the Laval system and work his way up. He's already started it. Now he's going to keep it going. Like I just think
bad.
there's just long-term plan in place.
He has to wear track pants, dude. He can't be in an outfit. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. He has to wear those track pants and be close to the players with a whistle around his
No,
neck.
no,
good
he-
dress
he-
code.
Red
You can't
helmet.
have him in a suit all day, dude. It doesn't work. He's too
I
good.
don't mind if
He's
my
too good.
GM wears his tracksuit. Don't worry.
What are you, Tom Dun fan accounts or something?
Look at the football coaches, or soccer coaches, same
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Give me a tracksuit.
Regardless of what happens, I'm with Andrew for sure. It's a long-term game with him. I'll be shocked if he's anywhere else but within the Montreal Canadiens
I
organization.
just love him.
I hope,
I love
man. I
Bouchard.
hope my guts out. The guy. Well, honestly,
Yeah.
I know we had an awesome playoff run with Ducharme right now, but if we had to pick one long term, I think I'm still with Bouchard. I know it's stupid. I shouldn't say that. The guy just brought us in the cup final, but
It's not
That-
stupid. It's not
I
stupid.
grew
I
up
know.
watching McDonald Academy on RDS. So,
But why not keep
we-
Ducharme? Why not keep
Bouchard.
Ducharme? Have Bouchard learn somewhere else,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then come here. How many coaches have we trained
Well,
here?
yeah.
And
And you're bringing
They
up
went to play
something.
well.
Let's
That-
congratulate Turing. You just got a job at Arizona not so long ago, right? Wasn't it? Yeah, it was Turing, right?
Dorigny, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. We're gonna have a French coach grooming somewhere else before he can come to Montreal. We're
Finally.
there in the league. Yeah, we don't have much in the league.
And
Yeah.
Pascal Vincent, he went to Columbus.
Columbus.
Yeah, he's an assistant coach, and he
Yeah.
was one of the top AHL coaches. So I mean, it's
Nice.
hard to say, right? I think we're okay with him, but
Yeah.
he'll.
No, Duchamp's good. I'm just saying that's how much I love.
Oh, no,
Duchamp,
Bouchard,
man.
I mean.
Oh,
I
man.
think Bouchard's sticking.
But I can't believe we're talking about the playoffs here, and we didn't talk about the Leafs more than that.
Well,
Fuck the Leafs, man.
well, we
No, yeah. whatever.
saving the.
Isn't
we-
it? I think it was the most satisfying series of all three series. Like other than eliminating Vegas and getting to the finals, having a playoff series against Toronto, being down 3-1 and still coming out on top. It was so satisfying.
We had a
That was
storyline.
easily easily the most stressful hockey I've watched in my life, dude. Like the
100%.
the
100%.
Oh
pacing.
man,
I'm sure I've got gray hairs everywhere now because of that, and like literally coming to terms with potentially losing the series down 3-1. I mean,
Crazy.
Toronto was playing so good before Montreal completely flipped the switch. So
Yeah.
like just thinking in my head, like, oh my God, we got to deal with this. Like we're actually going to be the team that the Leafs
Nope.
finally get through. And
No.
then just to come back, like that was so sweet. And just to do it in dominating fashion. Like it wasn't a reverse
100%.
sweep, but it was pretty damn close. And the Leafs
Oh,
had
yeah.
nothing those last 3 games. Fucking nothing.
Yo,
Oh, no,
if that's, go ahead, Matt.
they would touch the puck, they would shoot the puck, and their head would go down. They were out of it. They like, when they say the goalie got into their head, Price
Huh.
and the defensive
my
squad was
God.
so much into their head. Like you'd see it from Marner, especially, and Matthews. They would shoot the puck, he would stop it, and bam, head down to the bench. They would look at the ice, he wouldn't even look up.
Oh,
And Marner,
That was
Marner
beautiful,
took a-
man. That was beautiful.
Marner took a lot of the shit, and it was more obvious watching Marner, skate towards the boards, not want to get hit, and pass the puck away. It was pretty obvious.
Oh
But
yeah.
Matthews, like you said, was doing the exact same thing. He was not challenging the middle of the ice whatsoever, man. They were
He got
all
little
perimeter.
sparks here and there, but he spent most of his time sheltering himself
Dead.
instead of exposing the body for sure.
They had one
Yeah.
player that took the body, and that was Hyman, and he's leaving. So
I expected more from Simmons in that series, to be honest. I was like, oh, Simmons gonna give a shit, but he was a little pussy.
I wanted Simmons on Montreal so badly to start the season.
Oh, if I could pick one guy from Toronto this year, not at the price they got him because they
No.
paid a lot, but I would have gotten Foligno personally. I love the player. I know he was a little bitch against us and wasn't pretty to watch, but honestly, that's the kind of guy you want for a playoff run. Man. The
Well,
guy's
they got him.
tough and
When
yeah,
they got him, I thought that was like, oh shit.
yeah, exactly,
we got
exactly.
stalled.
So yeah,
But
But
they paid him.
Bergevin did his shopping during preseason,
Yeah.
filling up his taxi squad.
dude,
Like
we wavered
with
Perry, man.
Perry and Frolik. We wavered
him,
Perry.
dude.
I can't believe it, man.
Yeah.
And nobody took him.
Twice.
That's the beauty of it.
Twice.
Yeah, I'm
Twice
shocked.
away.
I'm shocked. But apparently, the whole thing that Spezza did, Perry did the same thing, right? He wanted to stay with Montreal, but yeah. Yeah.
Does he want to come
Not a
back
problem.
another year after the run they had?
It's got to
Oh.
be cheap, dude.
One,
The
two.
guy
I
made
would
it-
say. I would
the
say
guy
two.
made the guy made his money. It's got to be cheap. You
Yeah.
got to be here because you think you can win one here, and that's it. If you're gonna
He
ask for 2 or 3 million, so forget it. We can't
He
do
should
that
go
right
to
now.
Tampa, try to chase the cup.
I know.
like
I know
Host did.
Caulfield.
Sure.
I know Caulfield was pretty good with Suzuki and all, but if he ever has a slump, I wouldn't mind him going back and playing on the fourth line with Corey Perry on the other side. Do
Yeah.
you see how the Corey Perry can feed a guy like Caulfield around the net in close goalie situation in the crease there?
Yeah.
Corey Perry is like a unique skill set in that direction where he can pass a puck between like 8 skates and 2 feet, man. Shoo! He's so good at it, and he's
Don't
got
talk-
finger stick, man.
Don't talk about Corey Perry too much. Matt's gonna get excited that Getzlaff's gonna come in.
No, you want Getzlaff here? It's got to be a
Oh,
team
man, look
friendly
at him.
contract. yo.
Look at Matt.
him.
He's getting all excited now.
At this point, I'd take Eric Stahl back. But I mean, if Getzlaff's out there and available,
Oh.
fucking bring it on, man. And I hope Corey gets in his ear. I hope Perry has seen enough, and I think he has. What this franchise has moving forward to stay. And it was a dream just to have him on this team this year in general. And you guys touched on it a bit already, but fuck, man, no fear to go to the dirty areas or glide into the center of the ice. And he just has so much comfort doing it and experience doing it that he just knows what to do. And it doesn't always amount to something, but if it's not a clear, nice shot on net, there's a scramble, there's something going on because of what he's doing, gathering pucks and just, on his edges, gliding around the slot.
He wasn't even that dirty this year either.
No,
I've seen him a lot worse out west.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
but
Like-
sadly, his reputation precedes him. And
Oh,
the
yeah.
refs, they don't call shit on him.
Oh,
You can
I would-
split the
yeah.
guy's face open. You can drive him into boards. You can do what you
Yeah.
want on Corey Perry.
He's
Just
played
don't call,
he's
man.
played plenty of games with refs in the
Crazy.
past. But no, I think he'll come back. But the thing is, he is a dirty player because he took out Tavares on purpose.
Oh yeah,
That's
Dude.
why we beat
with the
Toronto.
Bruce Lee.
It was
move.
planned.
That was easily top 3 worst injuries I've witnessed. Tavares was lucky, like he didn't get hurt worse. First I was worried about maybe a skate cut him or something, but to see the slow-mo of his head snapping back like that,
100%.
and then
Yeah,
to
for
realize afterwards, oh fuck, it was Corey Perry, man. Of all guys to accidentally do that, it was fucking Perry. But it was a blatant accident. But as soon as it happened, and then the way, was it Bogosian that fought afterwards? Someone fought him.
It
Oh,
was,
was it
Foligno
Foligno?
fought him.
Foligno, yeah. And
Yeah.
I kind of agreed with the fight because you get everyone back zoned in on what the task at hand, just to because that was hard to witness. I don't know for both teams.
Oh, it was horrible, man.
But my brother sitting next to me was like, "Fuck this! They're gonna make this seem like it's intentional now," and it clearly wasn't. And there was some talk about that. And thankfully, Hockey Night in Canada and a few other people, stepped up and really just shut that down, right out of the bat. Total fluke, but it just hurt to be him of all guys.
Initially, you'll see it full speed, and it's like a fraction of a second, right? Then they show the slow-mo, and on the slow-mo, you have like 3 seconds build-up where the knee's coming up slowly towards his head, and you're like, yeah, okay, if you're going to put it that way, it looks like it's fucking intentional, but full speed, it's done.
Bang, bang.
Clap your finger and
from the chariot hit to the knee, the whole thing was and people started talking about it was chariot. Like when they heard that it wasn't Perry and it was accidental, they started blaming chariot for the hit, and it was knee on knee. Like
that was a good hit.
The whole thing, it was a good hit. It was a good hit.
Yeah. Body checking's bad. All of a sudden,
but center ice hits are never good. Like I'm not a fan of center ice hits, even though they can be very electrifying, but players are injury prone when there's those big hits.
I won't lie, I missed the big gold hip check where the guy flips around. I won't lie. I'm sorry. I know.
Need Emelin back.
Yeah,
Emelin back, dude. Or PK on Marchand.
Oh, Emelin's going to lay some of that in his career for sure.
I think we get one or two of them league wide a year now. It's so rare, but when it happens,
it's so electrifying, dude. Lights up the building instantly.
We got a glimpse when Romy hit Pietrangelo during the Vegas.
That was nice.
Oh yeah, I love that.
The thing is, the Toronto series started off just so weird. Like I'm glad we won to kickstart everything, but the games they never got. I think the injury to Tavares really derailed. Like when Perry wasn't going in fired up.
Teams.
And I think guys who were emotionally driven were kind of just flat, and they were flat for not one game, but like multiple. But Sparks didn't fly until Montreal started after 3-1. Like when
even Montreal was flat for a while.
Yeah.
Too. Everybody was post-traumatic syndrome and not playing the game, man.
I think that's the problem when you have so many veterans that have played in the highest level in Team Canada. Like all these guys are friends.
Dude, the first game against Winnipeg, then you live another trauma with Evans.
Yeah.
So emotionally, it was quite the playoff run, man.
Yeah. Can I parentheses? Okay, we talk quickly about the two big hits. I have way more respect for Austin Matthews and the Leafs than I have for Mark Scheifele and the Jets.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and I understand now why Matthews was nominated for the Lady Byng, which I didn't understand before because I don't watch that much Maple Leafs hockey. But I totally understand it now that I saw those series. And Scheifele, man, that was like, even at the end of the series, he still wouldn't take responsibility for that hit. He would still blame the league more than anything. And I really lost total respect for him.
Yep,
and we've had that talk, me and Pat, before.
Oh yeah.
It goes back to all the way to Bufflin, to Trouba, to like all the players that left Winnipeg. We've heard rumblings about Wheeler. Like everything is coming together, and we saw it after how Scheifele acted after that hit.
Yeah, did you guys hear the rumors where Patrick Laney would have talked about Wheeler and Scheifele when he got traded, and it wasn't pretty. And I heard that even Wheeler kind of apologized for it. Like maybe we could have been a better leader for the kid or something like that. I'm paraphrasing here.
So essentially confirming that it was true.
Yeah, I think
which is shocking because this is something I was thinking about just a day or two ago. Do you remember whenever it was they made the second or third round or whatever, the Jets, and Wheeler was propped up as one of the best leaders in the entire NHL. Fast forward to Montreal's run and witnessing what Shea Weber did for our team.
Oh yeah.
Fucking radio silence. And that's one of the true best leaders in the game, Shea Weber.
Oh yeah.
But and I loved Mark Scheifele as a player, but just to see how he handled that, just no humility at all. And
he had a meltdown. He had a straight up meltdown.
You guys remember the letter Paul Byron wrote when he had a suspension?
Yeah. Mackenzie
Weegar. That's all you want to see in that league. Like show some example for some kids playing sports, man. Be honorable. Be an example, right?
And I was pissed. I was pissed about that Byron suspension too back when it happened. Like I was like, like, that hit wasn't that bad, blah blah blah. And it kind of like And I mean, going back, it really wasn't. It's definitely not the worst we've seen, but
No, for sure.
even Paul Byron taught me something, in that moment. And I think that was crucial, and it really showed why he wears an A on our team. Just that
100%.
humility factor and realizing he has a responsibility to keep his peers safe. And Mark Scheifele completely fucking missed the boat.
Mark Scheifele came in, last year. I think Kachuk cut his Achilles in game 1, I think in the playoffs last year in the bubble, and then to go and then do this after your first loss after a sweep because you're pissed off. This just and he wanted to finish him. He wanted to hurt the kid. He wanted to flip him, but he wanted to hurt him.
Yeah.
Send a message.
Yep.
And like it is what it is. Like you know what, I wanted to send a message. It was an unfortunate result. That's all you have to say. Like, yeah, I went in there. I was going for the puck. I didn't mean to, and I was just trying to get enough of your BS. And then he kept going.
You're so right.
And like it's like, what do you do? Like just say it. Like just you're the future.
Apologize.
Yeah, you're the future of
Apologize.
this team.
What I will say though, that might be a good hit back in 1998, but that's not the year now. And I've made this comparison a couple different times, but even live in the moment when Jake skated for that puck and he collected it, in my head, I'm like, he's not going to wrap it here, is he? He's not going to actually wrap it, like, because there's going to be a back check and center coming down, and like, I play some Chell and EASHL here and there, and I love to play center. And if that's me playing the video game and I got a guy rapping on an empty net, I'm fucking laying him out.
Yeah, I get it.
But it's not a video game, and Scheifele has the responsibility there to keep his opponent safe. When the play's dead, the goal's going in.
The play's dead, or the game's dead.
Yeah.
The game is over, dude. The game is fucking over.
And that's the thing. If I combine these two series, like we were down, so yes, it was 3-1. Whatever was said in the room. Mind you, that overtime was dicey. Like when KK scored, that was the ultimate challenge to all of our hearts, because I thought that was over 3 or 4 times. And Carey Price.
It's back to the Leafs, eh?
Incredible, yeah.
It was that one save that on Price made on Austin Matthews, where he managed to get his pad over to the post. Yeah, and it was just kind of Matthews knew that was going to be the open spot.
Yeah.
And Price got his pad there just in time.
And was it the same game that he made this huge save on Spezza?
Oh, that was
the diving to the right side save on Spezza, and Spezza couldn't believe it. Like, I think it was the same game. He made those 2 big saves, and it made the whole difference.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So like, but that over, then KK comes back and scores the goal that we probably didn't deserve to win that game. But
on another pass by Byron, might we say,
follow waiver Byron?
Yes, and
Balatage.
Balatage.
No, to the end, he but we scored that goal, and then all of a sudden it's like the seed of doubt was planted in Toronto. Like it was just that overtime, like we couldn't get it done, and then you could feel it everywhere. It was like
they gave it to us a bit. Come on, guys.
They did.
We won that series, but Toronto lost that series. Come on, they lost it big time. And they had it exactly where they wanted it, and they just choked 3 fucking games.
Instead of goals in a game, it was games in a series that they choked to us, which is painful. But then we just started. Like it was that, like we didn't deserve the win. Carey kept us in. KK scores, and that just kept going. Like there was literally no turning back after that point. And Winnipeg was just a blip. Like with the Winnipeg series,
what happened with that? It's like a blink. You close the series, gone in 4, man.
But the second Evans got hit, I knew, guaranteed that we were winning that series.
Yeah, same. And I said in 4 right away. I said I think it's in 5 or in 6. And when the hit happened, I'm like,
you said in 6, and you said Habs in 4. Yeah,
right after the hit, I'm like, okay, Habs in 4.
Yeah. That was there was momentum, and then that was the the leadership group was just, you could tell they were ready. They didn't even retaliate. They just went to play.
That line there with Evans for that game, with Dano and Evans on it, if you don't destroy Evans, maybe that line can make a big difference against Tampa with Evans not destroyed in the middle of the playoffs, man. It slowed him down. That line was pretty tight, and for a moment there, I thought he did a better job than Lehkonen on that line as a winger besides Dano, to be honest. It was probably the best Dano line we've had in years. Was with Evans on the wing. Yeah.
Evans is going to be shut down. Flying under the radar. I think he's going to be a crucial piece to this Habs team the next 5 years or so.
Especially if we don't sign Dano.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And Paling too, right? They're going to have to fill that gap. I mean, Jesus Christ, that's another. Where are you going to find minutes for these kids if you keep Dano, right?
Like it's a good problem to have. Peeling became a 4th-line winger already. It's going so fast. A couple of years ago, he was a future number 1 center. Now he's now you're like, oh,
Yeah.
maybe we can give him the fourth line on the wing.
Yeah, but wow, Evans, wow, what he gave us before his
Oh.
injury and how he recuperated and got back and played also an excellent game in game 4 against Tampa, for example. Like, honestly, Evans, tip my hat to you. Incredible series.
Another great draft pick. Another great player.
Came on the
You know-
late though. Like we're comparing Evans to Dano, and now he's gonna replace him in the future. But he's like 3 years younger, guys. Dano's 28, and Evans is 25
Yeah,
already.
25.
We talk of him like a prospect, but he's not a prospect at all, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we took time to develop him. Like in the past, we wouldn't have seen that. Like, it's beautiful to see that some players need more development, and with Bouchard in the minors, it made a difference.
I think
Yeah.
if all goes well, a guy like him needs to go in like 3 or 4 years. Like he has to be that kind of guy that won't make it long term on the team. Just gonna bridge 2 generations together and move on.
Yeah, I
This
don't know.
Go ahead, Andrew.
I was just gonna say this entire run. I mean, Winnipeg was nice. But that's progress. Vegas was nice for the Pacioretty part. Stanley Cup Finals, but beating Toronto at the end of all of this, that was if we would have lost to them, I would be feeling a lot worse today. So I can only imagine. You know, I can
they're
kind of
feeling?
understand how they've been obsessed with their team for the last 7 weeks.
For sure.
Obsessed every day, following us, just pretending that we're trash, but literally watching us every game for the last 7 weeks makes me so happy. The trolls, there's a lot of good Leaf fans out there similar to us, but there's the trolls, and I'm so happy they had to sit on this run.
But they
Media
didn't
spent
sit.
the, like,
They didn't. They showed up
sit,
anyway.
stand.
Man.
Yeah. No, spent 10 grand
Yeah.
for a ticket, but just my God, thank God we beat them.
Well, we all know what it's like watching the Bruins, you know, go on all these runs. And
Yeah,
like,
it
I'd be
happens all the
lying
time.
if I said I wasn't hoping they got, you know, knocked out on each one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, just hoping and praying they don't win another cup. So any Leafs fan, even the good ones, saying they, you know, didn't care or whatever, I know they were secretly hoping that it ended for us, you know. But to knock them out and then just to get that, at least get a win in the cup final, I think capped it off, especially against such a good team. If you're going to lose to anyone, Tampa is definitely the one. I mean, people wanted to prop up Vegas and Colorado and Carolina and all that, and Toronto, of course, but Tampa was the complete team. So to lose to anyone, I mean, that's probably your best option.
It's crazy to think that Tampa was the standing champion, but was also better than last year.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Stamkos for a full
there's
run.
no shade losing to the best team there was in years.
And
Listen,
and
Colorado
guys,
was pretty tough. Didn't even make it to the final. We somehow managed to. We're the second best team in the league, dude. That it is what it is. That's it. We're the second best team in the league under complete fucking juggernauts, Tampa Bay, man. So
Canada's team, as they say.
yeah, we're more than that, dude. We won the trophy from the West Conference this year.
Yeah,
It's
first
the
time.
It's the first time in history, dude. So
Another record.
there's plenty to celebrate.
That's the thing, though. Like Tampa, they have to blow it up now, unless Hedman goes on the LTIR or something. They have to get rid of bodies.
They'll
Boston-
manage to find a
Oh,
player
I know.
to butcher and
You're right.
Get
But
on
like
a
they
cheap
should,
contract, no state tax.
100%. But they shouldn't be as good as this year.
Mhm.
Shouldn't be.
Yeah, we
Boston,
should see a split up for sure.
we shouldn't. Boston doesn't know who the goalie is going to be. I'm just going through the division next year. Like Boston,
Yeah.
we don't know if Rask is even coming back, and Halak is Halak. Like he's not exactly reliable to play a full season. So Boston,
Bergeron
yeah,
is how
Bergeron.
old? 34, 35. Marchand's 32. They're getting up there, man. Krejci is 33, 34. Like, they're getting up there.
And Taylor Hall is not going to win them a championship. Like we know what he does. So I mean, Boston could go down. They might stay the course. Toronto will probably be good again in the regular season. That's what they do. Florida is a good team.
Yeah.
Wait,
Auto-
are you assuming Toronto doesn't blow up this summer, dude?
Oh yeah, I think the GM's
man.
too arrogant. One more year, I think he'll wait.
Yeah, you think so?
Well,
Yeah.
if anyone goes, maybe.
I think Marner goes, man. I think it is.
I don't think they
No.
do it. Maybe Nylander.
I look at it. Yeah, well, Nylander was like the better player of these playoffs, man.
I doesn't say much. Sorry.
Oh, okay, Galchenyuk to you, you'll say.
Oh, top line
think-
center.
You know what? Toronto's going to find a way to be good next year. And
yeah.
I'm not sure they'll be good as they were this season, but they'll still find a way to be good. Like I've had my criticisms of Kyle Dubas in the past, and I still, he's managed to do a lot with the situation he's kind of put himself in with his salary cap and all that. So he is going to manage to juggle. I'm not sure how that's going to, actually I'm fairly certain how that's going to play out long term for them. I think they're going to face some struggles here over the next, 3 to 5 year mark. But I think he'll somehow find a way for this team to remain a top 3 team in the Atlantic next season. But I mean, it's all the chirps that we're getting. Oh, you guys fluked into the cup final, and then you're not even going to make the playoffs next year. To me,
No.
there's a lot of teams in the Atlantic that very well might not make the playoffs next year. I mean, it's going to be a dogfight.
But we're going to be a very strong division. That's for sure.
Start shining the 2022 Calder. Start shining it for Cole Caulfield. It's coming.
Yeah, but at the same time, everybody's gonna be ready for the Habs next year. Like it's gonna be tough on us. Like everybody is gonna want to beat the Stanley Cup finalists. Like it won't be easy next year. It was gonna be a tough year, but you know what? The more challenges we have throughout the year, the stronger we could come back into the playoffs if we make it. I say if because I'm a conservative guy and I really think it's gonna be a challenging year next year. But if we do make it to the playoffs, it's gonna be fun. Again,
we'll make it to the playoffs.
We're built for it. We've been saying that now
but not for
we'll make it.
Yeah, we're built for it. We've been saying that for a year or two now, and we've been saying it based on what we've assumed, what we've had. But to see it come to fruition, and now truly know that we are built for the playoffs.
Imagine, guys, it's 3 years in a row. If we had Jake Allen, we would be solid into the playoffs every year. The second goalie has been a struggle and an issue. You just give us Jake Allen 3 years in a row, and we're solid in. That's just one element. We didn't fix the D. We didn't fix power forwards like Josh Forward or scorers like Toffoli that just joined. Like, guys, we're there, man. People like to pretend there's big parts missing, but there's not, man. You got to just stick with it.
And Seattle can only take one.
Yeah, one. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, let's just think just the division again. We need to see how it all shakes out, who gets who, and how things go, and what Bergeron's planning, and the rest of the GMs. But there's going to be fluctuations with all the teams. Ottawa and Detroit are probably the only two that we can probably say. I mean, Ottawa maybe, but I think they're still ways away.
I think Ottawa could surprise, man.
I think Ottawa. I think their time to surprise was this year. I'm
going to say something unpopular. I think the Canadian division was pretty tougher than people painted out, man. I think you'll see Canadian teams go and dominate their divisions next year. Honestly,
and they did the year before.
Maybe not dominate for Calgary and then Ottawa, but I mean they're going to be good teams in the league. It looked poor because the division was kind of outweighed. You have small Eastern teams playing big Western teams every game and flying across the largest division in the league. It was crazy. People don't realize that, but we built a tough division.
Yeah, plus one less team. It was the least amount of teams in a division, and I think that made a big difference too. And people will point to the teams that struggled, but Vegas had a couple different teams they could beat up on through the season. There wasn't really a team other than Vancouver in our division and that was kind of unexpected. They juggled around, but other than Vancouver, every team in the Canadian division was very competitive.
Yeah, tough travel schedule too.
Yeah,
let's not forget that.
But that helped us against Vegas. That I'm pretty sure that helped us against Vegas. We learned to travel on the West Coast, but they remained in their time zone the whole year. I'm pretty sure that helped us when 100%. We had to travel.
Yeah,
but it was a tough division. Like it was. The season, man.
Well, look how we did.
Trying for a new coach to bring in his system, it's like impossible. We're like, what are we going to do tomorrow? We're going to fly again. We fly every day.
Practice?
No
practice. Yeah. Honestly, I think, I think we have a chance next year to get back in. I think we had a nice, good talk today too about reasons. There's a lot of things to be excited about, despite the fact. And it's easy to worry, but I think we can. This next year coming, Bergevin has some decisions to make, but I think we'll be in control of our own destiny. He'll have the right team on the ice when it comes to puck drop. So a lot's going to happen in the next few weeks.
And we're definitely now a team that I think free agents or players via trade are going to want to come to. Which, it already started 100%. Last season with Toffoli coming to play with Suzuki. Now players around the league are watching what Caulfield's doing. Yeah. I mean, that makes a huge difference.
And who wouldn't want to come and play with Price? Who wouldn't want to come and play for Shea Weber? And you saw how respected he is after the game once we got eliminated. Who wouldn't want to come and play for a guy like Gallagher? Who, if we sign Corey Perry, who doesn't want to play with a guy like Corey Perry? Who doesn't want to have a Phil Danault that is responsible defensively and who will take the heavy loads and who will let you play against other lines? Who doesn't want that when it comes to signing? And you know that you're going to be a hero if you win a cup in Montreal. And you know that the team for once is is on the verge of being a breakout team that is going to go for a few runs in the coming years. Why don't you want to be part of that? Like it's going to be a strong couple of years, and free agency is going to be beautiful to follow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ovechkin's coming home. Right, Andrew?
My
Well, it
man.
truly is a prime opportunity for an offensive superstar to come in and shine.
But
Oh,
we,
yeah.
we get played every summer, guys. Every summer, the big UFA, there's rumors of Montreal.
Don't say that.
Ovechkin's going to get 50 million because of us.
Yeah.
That's all that's going to happen, guys.
But who
It's true.
thought
It's the
we
same
would get
shit
a
every year.
Toffoli? Who thought we would get an
No, I
Anderson?
agree.
Like he was not a free agent, but who thought we would
sure.
sign some of these players? Edmondson,
yeah.
who come and solidified our defensive
Yeah.
squad.
Yeah.
Jake Allen. Like we got pieces that in the past. Oh, what's happening? Like where did these guys come from? So no, and even now after the run, it's even more now. The eyes are on us.
And
Yeah,
Matt
and-
said since last year, but it's not only the playoff performance last year against Pittsburgh and Philly. It's really players have come on record to say it. Montreal had fucking luxury besides the other teams in the bubble. Like they had their custom made smoothies and stuff, and everybody was showing on dry. Oh yeah. It's
yeah.
yeah.
It's
So
like, I
when
want
they
to go on
went
that floor.
Molson and Benjamin, exactly. They
Yeah.
wanted to go on the Habs floor because they'd see them come out of their floor with all those nice fucking things that were nobody else had in the league. So
Yeah.
Molson took that opportunity to come and show his wallet, and Benjamin played well with it, man. Like
I'd say.
they showed it. Come play Montreal. We treat players better.
He probably bought that suit too with some of that money.
How Bergevin did not win GM of the year is fucking beyond.
Lou Lamoriello.
Oh my
He-
God. Made
yeah.
what, 2 or 3 moves? He did have a good trade deadline picking up Palmieri, but Bergevin, that should have been money in the bank. Like just that was his to lose, and he shouldn't have lost it.
But the fact that he got the most number 1 votes, but he lost it on the second nomination votes and third and fourth, whatever.
That's perfect.
But he got the most number 1 votes. I think it was 13-12.
Yeah.
But it was all on the rest of it. Like he was the best GM.
So just
No doubt.
as Habs fans, the win we get in that is that the guy just left the Toronto Maple Leafs, went on and got success with the Islanders. That's all you got to remember. So that's our win.
Yeah. Komarov, like it's and 2 years in a row that Lou won that award.
The Islanders
Makes
are
me
a
laugh.
pretty fucking good team, man. Then,
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. I think we're in a good. I think overall we're in a good spot. The
Yeah.
team's attractive, like you guys said. For once, it's not just us saying, "Come to Montreal." It's great. You
And
get one.
only being used as negotiation strategy.
Yeah.
Don't skip that part. Everybody does it. They get a few millions because of our fucking loud mouths on Twitter, man.
Sure. But thank God we didn't get some of them. Duchesne. We got Alsner. We didn't really want. Well,
Hall.
I was kind of
Well,
Hall.
Osler would have had success elsewhere, man. It's the market.
It was, and the system at the time. He
And
wasn't ready to play
he was
that.
going to get that same contract.
Yeah.
There was no shade on Bergevin on it. It
At
just
the
turned out
time,
bad.
At the time, it was a great.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, we
Yeah.
almost got
Yeah.
Lucic. We should be really thankful. Lucic
Oh
almost
my
signed in
God.
Montreal. So
At 6.
yeah, we dodged a few bullets, and now Bergevin's season. He knows what to do, and players are going to want to come here, and it's going to be players we don't expect to. They're going to be like agents are going to be calling to come play in Montreal with.
Well, I just hope we don't get that too big that big guy like that Tavares move that cripples your cap space for years
Yeah.
to come. Like Toronto is better off
Yeah.
with a contract if you're and probably they sign cheaper for guys like Matthews and Marner if they don't get that big contract to Tavares right there. So it's a bad move all around, man.
Mhm.
Fix that D, get a good goalie for the same price of one player.
Yeah, but I know one thing I know one thing that's going to happen next year is that all of us are going to be in Montreal at the same time at some point.
For the draft,
With maybe for the draft, maybe for a game. But I want to see some of these, the extended Twitter fam we have going on here.
the draft is
in
perfect. It's
Montreal.
early summer.
We're
Everybody's
gonna
in-
make it happen. We're gonna make it
yeah.
happen.
we
Yeah,
have
I got
to-
my eyes on the draft, no doubt.
Yeah,
Come on, man. It's in Montreal. We're supposed to have that party in 2020. We're getting it in 2022. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Sure.
Well, guys, I would love to keep this going all night. This
It
has
was
been a
crazy
treat.
fun, man.
Thank you all so much for joining me. Why don't we end on, we'll go through each of us, our favorite moment this playoff run. What first comes to your mind?
the Bergevin hug to Price.
Oh, wow.
Sorry if I took that from someone, but that's
You can only pick one. It's such a tough game. I'm going to go last because I want them to pick some moments I would pick. So,
Well, the first that comes to mind is the Lekanen goal that brought us to the final. That moment, I felt my heart melt. I felt like the first time we're going to the finals and it's possible. And it was a special moment at that specific time. So I'll go with that moment. It was very marking on my side.
Jay, you know what? Oh, my God. I think the turnover from Marc-André Fleury, man. Guys, it woke up Josh Anderson and it led to another goal that gave us a big win. I think it might have affected. After from there, the board was just shuffling with the goalies. It shook the room, man. It shook the whole fucking room. The board didn't know how to react. Players had trust in Fleury. He should have just leave him there, but instead he shuffled and
True.
we know what happened.
Game
So
changer.
yeah, I'm gonna go with that
Foundation was
turnover
shook.
for Marc-André Fleury because French players they helped the Habs win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Matthew had mine, and Pat, you had my second one. So and I want to say I want to go like, how do I not bring up the series win against the Leafs? But the weird thing is that even going into Game 7, there was this weird confidence that we were gonna do it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it wasn't a surprise once we got to that point and ended it. So, but what I will say, beating up Matthews behind the net and seeing that grin on his face, I think at that point I knew we were in these guys' head, and he was not going to push back at all through the rest of that series, and he didn't. I think that was a big moment, and I'm glad we came out on the winning.
Yeah.
Can
We still see all of Price's big saves in our heads. Like we know them. Like
Byron's diving goal, man. Like if you like a picture, like
a few
a
Kodak
picture,
moments, yeah.
Oh man, Byron's dive goal falling to the ground, man. It's crazy. Like we had big moments in these playoffs, and guys, if that's the one time we're gonna remember a Montreal Toronto matchup in the playoffs in our lifetimes, I think it's perfect, man. I think everything was exactly how it should have happened.
Losing just like that.
Yeah, 100%.
Honorable mention though for memories, seeing Matt's mug on CBC there, going toe to toe with the other guy.
Canadian, yeah. My bad. Yeah, that was fucking hilarious. But more specifically, what happened after on Twitter, man? Like, you know what I'm talking about, man.
Man, I don't give a shit, man. I think Sportsnet deserved to be called out.
Hey, you look good on there, man.
Thank you.
Well done.
Like a boss. 10 pounds.
You came out on top of that.
I appreciate it. I seriously do. That's surreal to even have the moment with Steve, but then to what followed it was just kind of crazy. But I'm,
funny on Twitter, man.
I started my channel because I was sick and tired of the negative coverage of, the Leafs are going to win the cup. It's guaranteed. Yeah. How many are they going to win? Meanwhile, it's Shea Weber is a baffling choice for captain. What are they doing? Well, look what has happened. Look how it has played out. I'm not surprised in the least. So
changing a culture takes time, and it worked.
Yeah, yeah. So it was nice to kind of have that moment.
I gotta say, man, I love your energy, man. Like your videos are the best. Like if you're not feeling too well about the Habs, your energy just gonna bring anyone back up.
Yeah,
so contagious. For real.
The charisma, the voice, everything, man. Keep it up.
Yeah. Thanks, gentlemen. I really appreciate that. By the way. And it's been a treat to host you guys tonight. We'll definitely have to do it again.
You talk way too much. I'm sorry about that. Yeah. You're the one. It's the stoner thing, man. I don't smoke as much anymore. And that was a fat dab right there. So yeah, I'm just dabbling, blah 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 all the show, man.
No, this is fantastic. So
great.
We'll start with Pat and Matt. Where can we find you?
Oh, me first, right?
Go ahead, Pat.
At L4 Pat Nadeau on Twitter, or just go look in your muted or blocked accounts. I'm probably there already. Just remove it. You'll see me. That's it. I don't do other social media, man.
Twitter's our spot.
Yeah.
Twitter's our spot, and that's where we interact with the Twit fam. I'm at Mathieu MMTL, and you can find us also on our podcast. At
Au Balotage.
Pour les francophones qui écoutent le canal à Matt. Right, Matt?
Fait que nous autres, on est en français en général. Fait que pour les Québécois, pour les francophones, on est au balotage. Donc, l'équipe de non réclamés au balotage, c'est nous autres.
Solid.
And none other than Andrew.
Andrew sends awesome sexual videos in the shower.
That's one time.
One time. Well, I was the lucky receiver. Yeah, you were singing birthday sex. I remember that shit, dude. You're embarrassed now.
You and Russell. Oh, and I'm never embarrassed. Never.
Oh, we have to find it. We have to repost that one.
I'm trying to think of how if the dad bod was in yet. I think that was pre-dad bod.
Oh, you were keeping the camera pretty high.
That's okay. Well, yeah, it's cold water. I'm A Marchand, EH Marchand. Probably just an annoying Twitter follow, but hey, if you feel like it, come on in.
Your Twitter game has been fire through the entire playoffs, just nailing every subject. I've loved it. All three of you as well. Like, it's been an absolute treat to experience this playoff run with people like you, among many others. I truly believe this fan base is incredible, and we got
Right
to
back at
witness
you,
it.
Matt.
Big hands up for Matt also. Matt, you've entertained us this whole playoffs. We've watched your videos. I'm me and Pat and Andrew. I'm pretty sure we're very privileged to be with you on this podcast today. You've done an excellent job, excellent coverage throughout the playoffs. You've been a discovery for many, and keep it up, man. We've had a lot of fun with you. So I know it's your channel. I'm sure you don't get too many praises, but I'm in a good mood today. So it's all for you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so
Touche.
much. We'll see you in the next one.
Oh yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.